get on me for not posting story times as much as I used to, but there's a reason for that. And the reason is therapy. No. Well, yeah. If you look at the chronicles of my life, known as my storytime playlist, they usually have a pretty singular and undeniable theme. I'm so angry. We all know I'm a dramatic, but the stories that make it to YouTube are the ones that made my blood boil so intensely that my intestines get cooked like ramen noodles. And simply, that just doesn't happen that often anymore. I've grown up, I've cooled off, I've discovered vodka and other substances. But most importantly, I've learned that my life is pretty damn great and I should stop getting so upset over shit that other people do. Now, that's not to say I'm perfect. And every once in a while, there's a little special someone who can tip my sano-meter just a little bit extremely far into the red. And that's today's special someone. We'll name her Gouda. Besides the impossibly difficult and idiotic interaction I had with Gouda over the course of about 3 weeks, she also taught me a very valuable life lesson, and that is, if you're not somebody, you're nobody. At least in the eyes of customer service representatives. But before we get into the very sick, dark world of Hollywood, social media power, and the ever-altering intrinsic value of a human being, a word from our sponsor! This video is brought to you by BoxyCharm. This is actually really sick. BoxyCharm is a beauty subscription box. You get it once a month, but this one's different because you get 5 full-size products or more for just 21 bucks. So instead of fumbling around with a million samples, you get full products that you can actually use. And I know a lot of my followers and YouTube in general is really into the beauty world, so you know that just an eyeshadow palette alone oftentimes retails for like 40 bucks, liquid lipsticks 20 bucks. But in this month's box, I got 3 makeup brushes, a full-sized eyeliner pencil, a set of lashes, a full eyeshadow palette, a body cream, and a full-size liquid lippy that smells like cake. Bonkers, all full-size, just 21 bucks. Click the link in the description below to grab your own. And now back to regular programming. Alright, so on with the story. I have a membership at this gym. I'm sorry, I had a membership at this gym. I train with my trainer Steve almost every day, so I very rarely use it. I mostly just kept my membership because I loved this class that they had on Sundays. I loved the instructor. So one day that instructor told us that he was leaving his job at that gym and moving to another gym. He never badmouthed them at all, but it was kind of implied that he was leaving because he had been there for a while and he just like couldn't get a raise and it just wasn't competitive with what other gyms were paying. So he just really couldn't afford to work there anymore. I loved his class, like to the point of I kept a membership for years just so I could go on Sundays to take his class. So when he said he was leaving, I knew I was gonna cancel my membership anyway. So as all this is happening, my business manager forwards me my credit card statement, which she does every month. And I usually just glance over it to make sure there's no weird or large purchases or stores that I don't recognize, aka my identity wasn't stolen. Now for some reason, this time only, I noticed that the gym had charged me twice this month. Once for $29.99 and then once for $40 on separate days. So I checked the month previous and I noticed I was also charged twice on the same days, and the month before that, and the month before that. Before I knew it, I had gone back 2 full years and I was charged twice a month, every month on the same days for 2 years. So I was like, oh, damn. Now I never noticed because like I said, I just skim and the gym is a recurring charge. I know that I'm a member at this gym, so when I see it on my bank statement, it doesn't strike me as anything. And my business manager never noticed because she sends me my credit card charges every month to make sure there's nothing fishy about them. And she knows I have a gym membership, so for her, there's no red flags. Also, I'm an idiot. Anyways, I see these charges on my credit card statement. It's a Friday night, so I call the gym, ignoring the fact that I apparently had nothing better to do on a Friday night than look at my credit card statements and call a gym. But okay. I call and I say, yo, what's up? I've been double charged every month for like 2 years. And the woman just said, that's so strange, let me look in your account. And then she goes, wow, this is so weird. Do you know anybody named Rose? And I said, no. And she said, you don't know a Rose in Florida? And I said, no. And she said, ugh, and of course she doesn't have any contact information. So Rose, with no phone number, is just chilling in Florida, doing Zumba a few times a month on my credit card? And then she goes, and this is very important, that's so weird, this keeps happening. This is like the 3rd phone call that I've gotten like this since I started working here. It's important to note too that this is not credit card fraud. I highly doubt that an identity thief would steal a credit card, make 0 purchases, but would sign up for a recurring gym membership. This is clearly an error on the gym's behalf. So the lady at the gym says, this is clearly an error on our behalf. And then, I'm so sorry, there's nothing I can personally do because I don't have the authority, but our manager will be in on business hours on Monday and she'll give you a call, get it all sorted out, we'll get you refunded. So the weekend passes, Monday passes, and I sort of forget about it. Then 2 weeks pass and I realize I never got a call. And then I realize, oh, I changed my number a while ago. Maybe they were trying to call my old phone number. So I call back. So someone answers the phone. I say, hey, I was waiting for a call from a manager. And the lady on the phone responds with, oh, is this Gabby? And I said, yeah. And she said, the manager left a note for you in case you call back. She said, we can't refund you, but you can file a dispute with your credit card. So I said, hold on. So you guys admitted that you made a mistake. You admitted to me that this is a mistake that keeps happening with other people too. That my credit card was somehow added to somebody else's account that has no contact information. That you've been charging me over double every single month by no fault of mine. But you can't just refund me. You want me to file a dispute with my credit card? You want me to go out of my way, sit on the phone for who knows how long, jump through hoops to make a claim, probably have to prove it instead of just refunding me? Again, this isn't like somebody stole my credit card and went on a spending spree. This isn't a hotel trying to tell me that I broke a lamp that I didn't break. This is an error that you guys made in your system. And this girl says, well, my manager can call you back. There's nothing I can do about it, and I don't want to give you the wrong information. But I already waited for 2 weeks from a call from this manager, so I don't have my hopes up. I hang up the phone. I don't have time to deal with this in this moment. So Sunday rolls around again, and I go to the gym for what is my favorite instructor's last class at this gym. So now that he's gone, I'm canceling my membership. All other issues aside, I just want to cancel my damn membership. So after the class, I go up to the desk and I say, hi, I need to cancel my membership. And they said, you can only cancel your membership in person Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. Okay. So I said, so I can come back anytime tomorrow between 9 and 5? And this girl said, yes. And I said, anytime? Because I don't want to come if I'm gonna have to wait or if somebody's not gonna be here because I'm very busy during the week. And she said, yes, anytime from 9 to 5 on weekdays. So the next day, I'm very busy, but I decide to go out of my way and cancel before I get charged for another month. It is 1:45 p.m., which I'm no scientist, but I would confidently say is a time between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. So I go upstairs and I say, hello, I would like to cancel my membership. And they said, you need to speak to a manager. And I said, I'd love to. And they said, her lunch is from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. every day. So you have to wait until after 2 p.m. to speak to her. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I have not lost my so hard, so fast well, actually not that long ago, I had a situation at an airport in Turkey, but it was bad. I could immediately feel the blood pounding in my temples and my throat start closing and my eyes start burning and my face started tingling and I instantly exploded a little bit in a very eloquent, what the do you mean I have to wait till after 2? Mind you, these two people probably aren't the same workers that I spoke to the day before. I don't remember. But at this point, I'm like multiple phone calls and face-to-face interactions deep. And I cannot believe that after I clarified like 3 times the day before, so I can come in any time between 9 and 5, correct? And this says yes, literally any time between 9 and 5. And now this new is like her lunch is from 1 to 2 every day. Every day! Meaning I should have been told any time between 9 and 5 except 1 and 2 because that's when she has her lunch. So that I wouldn't approach the counter after I went out of my way on a very busy day to cancel my membership. That has to be canceled face to face Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. So the people behind the counter tell me to sit and wait, and I am literally choking on my breath, trying not to hyperventilate in public. Sitting in my little chair, face all f***ed up from my botched vampire facial, listening to the workers snicker at and mock me from behind the counter. I'm watching the clock like an actual lunatic because at this point I'm aware that I look pretty insane. I'd been pushing down anxiety for days and it was just manifesting in this situation, in this moment. But then Gouda walks in. I don't know Gouda. I never met Gouda, but I know for a fact this is Gouda. I can smell it. 2:05 p.m. 5 minutes late. So I see the workers point to me and laugh, and then they're talking about me with their backs turned to me like this. And I watch as Gouda keeps peeking over at me, intentionally not calling me over like some type of power move. So I decided to post to my Instagram story. I tagged the gym and just let them know what's going on. just in case my problem doesn't get resolved. So Gouda waves me over and says, I can help you now. And I said, I would like to cancel my membership. Without a question of why and without even attempting to get me to stay, she says, no worries, and cancels my membership in like 11 seconds, which if you've ever tried to cancel a membership at a gym is an actual miracle. But I'm sure to her, getting me the fuck out of the gym was an actual miracle. So then I say, I also need to talk to you about the 2 years that I've been double charged every month. And she said, oh right, you're Gabby. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. You can file a dispute with your credit card. So again, I was like, you mean to tell me you guys admittedly put an extra charge on my card every month for 2 years, admitted that it's your mistake, admitted that you've had this exact problem with other customers, and you can't refund me? And she said, no, file a dispute with your credit card. And I said, that is not what a dispute is for. A dispute is when you're a victim of identity theft, which this is not, unless you're the one stealing my identity. If you're overcharged at a restaurant because a waiter added a huge tip to the bill or something, a hotel accuses you of damages or taking something from the minibar that you did not because a company who admitted their mistake doesn't feel like it. Meanwhile, I'm posting all these updates on my Instagram story. Then I said, so you want me to pay my business manager by the hour to dispute a charge where there's literally no dispute because you guys are admitting that it's a mistake? And she said, well, I mean, you can do it yourself. And I snapped! And I said, I'm not gonna do it myself because I don't have time to do it myself. I don't even have time to be here right now, which is why I'm so wound up that I had to sit and wait for 20 minutes for you when I was told I could come in anytime between 9 and 5 without the disclaimer between 1 and 2 because that's when she has her lunch every day. And then she says, well, there's literally nothing I can do because you can't prove that you don't know this Rose person on your account. So I was like, well, no, I can't prove that I don't know Rose from Florida, just like you can't prove that you don't know Rose from Florida. But I can prove that I at no time signed off on someone using my credit card in Florida, and I'd love to see the paperwork with my signature on that. And furthermore, to my understanding, this person may not even exist because as far as I know from when I signed up regrettably to this gym, I had to provide you guys with an address and a phone number. And I'm told that this person doesn't even have a phone number. And then she goes, oh yes, she does, she has a phone number. And I said, well, I was told that she absolutely didn't. And she said, well, she does. And I said, okay, can I have it? And she said, no, that's personal information. And I said, you know what else is personal information? My credit card number. So I say again, I was told there was only one number on that account. And she said, well, there's two. And I said, well, is it my old one and my new one? And she said, well, there's a third one. And I said, okay, I'll tell you what, if you can't give me this phone number, just give me the first 4 digits just so I know it's real. Because I wanted to see, you know, you can tell when someone's making something up on the spot. I wanted to see. And she said no. And I said, what's the area code? And she said, California. So I said, it's a California area code and this girl's in Florida? So it just happens to be a coincidence that the girl who joined the gym in Florida used to be a California resident? So we're going back and forth for eternity. Actually, it could have been 3 minutes or an hour and a half. I genuinely have no idea. Because when you're skull is imploding, you lose all concept of time. But we're going back and forth and she says, even if I believed you and you could prove it, I literally couldn't refund you. I don't have the authority to make refunds. There's nothing in my system that would allow me to process that refund. So I said, okay, if you don't have the power or authority to refund me, who can I talk to that does? And she said, no one. No matter who I talk to, I will get the same answer. And I said, cool, I'm down to get the same answer. And she said, fine, you can call corporate, but they'll literally tell you the exact same thing. And I said, cool, what's corporate's number? And she said, I could find it on Google. And I said, I can also find it by you writing it down and giving it to me. So she gives it to me and I ask her last name and she says, I can't tell you. I don't know if that's a policy that the employees of a company aren't allowed to tell you their names, but she didn't want to tell me her name. So then I ask her, okay, since I called last time, like 2.5, 3 weeks ago, was I charged for Rose's account in Florida again? And she said, yes. And again, I blew up. I was like, you mean to tell me that after I called and let you guys know that this person is no one to me and I've never met them nor heard of them and I've been charged for 2 years, you still charged my card for her? And she said yes because I never canceled her membership. Mother are you fucking kidding kidding me? So I never canceled her membership. You know what else I never did? Signed up for her membership. So again, we're going back and forth because I really don't want to sit on the phone with corporate after I drove out here for this. And again, I say this is your guys' mistake. You need to just refund me. And she said, and I quote, maybe you should have kept better track of your finances. First of all, true. But second of all, bitch, I don't care if I'm an illiterate, incompetent, impossibly moronic, irresponsible, dumbest piece of shit. At the end of the day, you are stealing from me. The person responsible here is the stealer, not the person who took too long to notice they were being stolen from. So that was my breaking point. I mean, no, I had many breaking points, but this was like my breaking point. And I knew I had to leave because if I didn't go home, I was going to jail. Now, before I admit this to you, I need everyone to agree that I get a pass because I never do this. This is last ditch. You really have to get me into a very dark place. In fact, I usually go above and beyond to try to hide this about me from people. It is so cunty, and so embarrassing. But she lied to my face for so long, and we know how I feel about liars. So I said to her one more time, giving her one last chance, there's nothing you can do. And she said, absolutely not. And I said, okay, well, since you guys won't refund me for the money you've stolen for the last 2 years, I'm gonna make the money back by posting a video about this situation. So I'm really, really sorry for what I'm about to do in advance. This may affect you at work, and I'm so sorry for the shitstorm you're about to get caught in once I blast this on social media. And then I left. So on my way to the car, I call corporate, getting ready to get told the same shit, because that's what she said would happen. So I get connected, I give them a rundown. I don't tell them anything about the situation where I just went into the gym. I just tell them about, hey, I've been double charged for 2 years. And before I even get out of the parking structure, the guy's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that this happened and you're having this experience. This is clearly our mistake. We'll correct this right away. Then he asked me to hold while he got into my account info. So he comes back a minute later and he says, this is Gabrielle? And I said, yes. And he said, of course, we're happy to refund these charges, but did you just speak to somebody named Gouda? And I said, yeah. And he said, really? I'm seeing that she already processed a refund for the double charges for the last 2 years. And I said, huh? And he said, yeah, Gouda processed a refund minutes ago. Was that you? And I said, yeah. Wait, what? So she gave me all the money back? And he said, yeah, that's protocol. And I said, so before I even called you, there was a refund being processed? And he said, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And I said, so this whole time, she not only had the authority and capability to refund me, but she was supposed to? And he said, yeah, we made a mistake, clearly. Of course we'd refund this. So I was like, but I was just told over the phone multiple times and to my face for 20 minutes that no matter what, she couldn't refund me, and I could call corporate, but they would say the exact same thing. Why would she say that? And he sounded genuinely very confused and said, I don't know. I wish I could explain that, but I'm confused too. I don't know why she say that to you or why she wouldn't just refund you, but yeah, your refund is being processed. So, and in this moment, I have a very short-lived moment of victory, relief. I'm glad it's over, but I'm baffled. I'm annoyed. And mostly, I'm angry. Because, and this is why my life is better than yours, she was willing to fuck me over until I threatened her with social media. She didn't want to help me until she knew who I was and what I could do. And what's weird about this is I can't even blame it on the fact that I was rude, because she left a message for me before I ever had any problem with anybody that if I called back to tell me that she wouldn't refund me. This is before I ever even spoke to this woman. Now, I know some of the trainers there know me, and I know that as soon as I told her that I was blasting this on social media, that she probably found out who I was from one of them. And then she decided to refund me, which is apparently something that she could have done and should have done from the start. But had I not had a big Instagram account, had I not had a verified Twitter, I would still be trying to file a dispute with my credit card right now. Oh, and by the way, by sheer cosmic coincidence, my business manager texted me while this was happening and said, by the way, I called your credit card about this gym thing, and they said that this isn't a case that you dispute and that you need to get a refund from your gym directly. Duh. But here's the goofy part. It really wasn't until after I was refunded that I got so vehemently angry, because it's hitting me. This woman was just lying to my face with me. For what? It doesn't benefit her in any way to not refund me unless it's her cousin Rose in Florida using my account. It obviously doesn't take more than a few moments to do since she did it in the time I walked from the gym to my car and called corporate. She just didn't want to. For no reason. She gave me a hard time for no reason. And the part that upsets me is if I was a person without any social media presence at all, I'd receive no attention. And I know this because as I was posting to Twitter and Instagram, my feed, my DMs, comments, tweets blew up from people who had the exact same experience as me with no refund. From somebody who works at a bank. And they say that they get calls from this business all the time from this exact same situation. Now, I don't know if this is some type of scam or if it's some horribly flawed mistake in the system, but it's not okay. And I'm so blessed to have a platform to defend myself and get justice for these things. But what about all of the people who don't? What about all the people who are tweeting them, calling them every day and being told there's nothing we can do? And is it the company? Or is there some inner ring that Gouda's in charge of who devised this whole plan to scam customers knowing that the corporate office probably wouldn't help you? Obviously I'm being dramatic. I don't know that Gouda is the mob boss of a huge gym membership scam, but I hate that I only received the attention and care that I got after I started posting to social media. So yes, I got my refund, but the story actually has a much happier ending than that. So after I talked to the first guy in corporate, I get a phone call from somebody else at like corporate, and he said, I heard what happened. I'm so sorry. I can't apologize enough. This is completely unacceptable. We don't understand why any of that happened. We don't know why you were treated that way, why she told you she couldn't refund you when she could have and should have, and that's being handled internally. And we just had this long, almost hour-long conversation back and forth of my grievances, them apologizing, me telling them the main problem is that I got all these responses of people telling me that they're dealing with the exact same thing and that they need to deal with that immediately, and him saying he completely agrees, he had no idea there was an issue. And I said, thank you so much for calling me and making this right. It just sucks that I know this wouldn't be happening if I didn't have this social media presence. But I feel okay with it. To me, this company righted their wrong, for me at least. And then he ended the conversation with, so you don't actually want to cancel your gym membership, right? Like, can I re-sign you up? And I said, actually, honestly, I was going to cancel my membership anyway. And he said, I'm guessing nobody, when you tried to cancel your membership, asked you why or cared about your reason for leaving the gym. And I said, no. And he said, well, what is it? And I said, I was quitting anyway because my favorite instructor is leaving. And he said, why? And I said, I get the impression that he just wasn't getting paid a competitive rate, so he had to go somewhere where he was getting paid more. And he said, who's the instructor? And I told him the name. He looks it up and he said, yeah, his class sizes are so big. They have so many attendees every time. And I said, yeah, he's a really great instructor. And he said, if I can get the instructor back, will you join the gym again? And I said, I don't know, but if I was you guys, I would try to get him back anyway because he's your best instructor. He said, all right, well, I'll call you back. So then I get a Facebook message like a day later from my favorite instructor, and he says, you'll never believe this. The gym called me back. They offered me a huge raise. So I'm coming back to the gym, and he can keep his other job because the classes don't coincide. So now my favorite instructor got his job back, which he really deserves. He's such a great guy. Actually, I have no idea if he's a great guy. I see him like once a week sometimes for an hour in a group setting. He could be a murderer, I don't know, but he's such a fun instructor. So I'm so happy he got his job back. I'm so happy he got the raise he deserves. And I'm so grateful to the gym for going out of their way to do that for me. I think that was really upstanding and the right thing to do, and obviously shows that they're dedicated to righting some wrongs and making their experience for their clients the best they can be. But at the end of the day, I did still cancel my membership. I joined another gym where I'm really happy, because after that whole debacle, after seeing the tweets, after seeing everybody else's comments and DMs that they were going through the same thing, I just wanted a better gym experience. And also, I didn't want to walk in and see Gouda and the other people who are laughing at me and snickering at me, because I feel like I have a bit of a reputation there now, so like scanning my little card every day might be a little bit awkward. And that's where it stands right now. The moral of the story is, what the f? No, just kidding. The moral of the story is, be kind and fair to everyone you meet. Do your job well, regardless of who you think you're working with, because you never know who the f you're talking to. But more importantly, every human is worth the same. Having followers shouldn't be the reason that you get respect or attention. Being a human should be the reason you get respect and attention. And also, always check your credit card statements. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't, and turn on my notifications, obviously. This is this week's showstopper of the week. Thank you so much for being such a lovely little gem. I love you. And as always, I love you very much. Thanks for being a part of my family, and I'll see you next time.
Say what